Anthony Joshua, the aftermath of the Andy Ruiz fight. Are his fans turning on him? And where did it all go wrong? These are all some of the questions that are being asked. And they're questions that obviously we don't have the answers for some of them, but for some we do. I'm going to start with the fans. And you're going to see on screen just there a comment that I saw that was left on the Sky Boxing page. Obviously, there's no names given because I'm not going to put their names on it. But I just had a little pick through the comments just to kind of see what people were saying post Anthony Joshua's defeat. And you can see already that at the end of that comment, the guy is saying, I'm not going to, there's no need for me to watch boxing anymore. Right? Those are examples of some of the fans Anthony Joshua has. Now, I'm not going to criticise casual fans because that's clearly a comment from a casual fan. I'm not going to criticise casual fans because people who watch my videos, they're hardcore fans. You know, we're all hardcore fans. We watch fights. You know, I'll watch and pretty much cover any fight I can if it's on. We like boxing. We'll watch boxing no matter what. We may have our favourite fighters, but if they lose, they lose. We're not going to stop watching the sport. I've always felt that with Anthony Joshua fans, they're glory seekers. They're fans who just, because they have this big, strong, chiseled guy, they just want to follow him because he's winning. You know, I think I spoke before in a previous video that there's guys around Dublin who I know who have literally been in a picture with Anthony Joshua. Literally, just they've been next to Anthony Joshua. They've got a picture with him at some event or something like that. And every time he fights, they're putting up like these big flipping quotes and statuses on Facebook about how I need to meet up with Anthony Joshua again, and you know, we need to speak again, we need to see each other again, this, that, and the other. They've met this guy to have a picture with him, and then they're probably never going to see him again. Anthony Joshua probably doesn't even remember them. But they're so involved from an emotional standpoint in this man that they see him as almost like their mate. And that's not a good thing. You know, it's good because it gets people involved in boxing, but to be actually worshipping someone to that extent where, you know, you don't know them, but you act like you do, you don't look at any of their mistakes, you just see them as this, you know, amazing person, and, you know, you're part of his, you know, quote unquote team, you know, just because you stood next to him for a picture, you know, silly little things like that. These are the kind of fans who would follow Anthony Joshua. And these are also the type of people where when they see a loss or when they see that the guy they worshipped isn't the guy they thought they was, they're very quick to cut and run and get out of there. You know, if you look at someone like a Ricky Hatton, okay, Ricky Hatton had a very loyal fan base who followed him throughout his defeats because Ricky Hatton was your everyday man. He was your working class fighter. So people loved him for that. Whereas Anthony Joshua, people love him. I don't know to the extent of Ricky Hatton, maybe more. But you can definitely tell that these fans, they love him because he's winning. And now that he's not winning, most of them I don't think feel the need to, you know, want to cheer for him or want to see him because they feel like we've invested in you and you've let us down. You know, it's a silly way to look at it, but that's the way I've seen it. That's the way I've noticed it. And I've seen so many people that I know have said the same thing. Oh, we don't want to watch Anthony Joshua anymore. He's garbage. He's lost. This, that, and the other. A loss isn't the end of the world, you know. And other fans of other fighters, like for give example, the Deontay Wilder fans. Now I have Deontay Wilder fans come and comment on my video saying this, that, and the other. Some things they say, you know, I don't take serious, and some of the things you see on other channels, I don't take serious. But even if you watch, now I don't watch any LDBC videos, but they are, to me, they're just Wilder fanboys. But at least they always say, like, if Deontay Wilder loses, we'll still follow him. And I believe that. You know, I think that Wilder fans, if he loses, even if he does get beaten soundly, they'd still follow him. Whereas Anthony Joshua fans, they just want to cut and run. You know, he's lost now, we don't care about him. Just throw him under the bus. So I definitely think AJ has lost the appeal of a lot of fans, and I don't think he'll get that back, personally. I don't think he'll get that back. So that's the kind of fan side taken out of the way. I made a video earlier on today explaining about how, actually it was Dave Allen who said it, that he felt Joshua was either beaten up in sparring or was knocked out in sparring. I had someone comment on my video, and I had a few people comment on that video saying that they didn't think a doctor would allow Anthony Joshua in the ring after being, you know, hurt or stopped in a spar. Well, I don't think they have to tell the doctor necessarily that they were knocked out or dropped in sparring. Chad Dawson fought, it was actually Andre Ward. I actually mistakenly said it was Alan Stevenson. It was Andre Ward he fought in 2012, and 2 weeks before that fight, he was knocked out in sparring by Edison Miranda. Okay? he was able to fight. So I don't necessarily think that sparring, if you stop in sparring, you don't have to tell a doctor. I don't think there's any doctors present. There might be. I know in my gym, there's sparring all the time, there's no doctors present. Now, I am going to say this now. I don't necessarily think that was the case, that Joshua was stopped in sparring. I think that Andy Ruiz just was the better man of the night, and he exposed the flaws in Anthony Joshua that were always there, but we just didn't get a chance to see them. I think Joseph Parker could have exposed the flaws in Anthony Joshua with a different referee in their fight, because look how close Andy Ruiz got to Anthony Joshua, and he was allowed to get them shots off, and the referee, Michael Griffin, just let them fight. The referee didn't do that in the Joseph Parker Anthony Joshua fight. He was just, as soon as Parker got close, break, gone, bye. So that's what I think it was. I've seen people say stuff like Joshua was drugged, or that Joshua threw the fight. Well, Joshua, in my opinion, Joshua quit in that 7th round. In my opinion. But did he do it on purpose? No. He was taking a beating. If you're going to throw a fight, you're not going to take that kind of a sustained beating. Joshua got battered from pillar to post in that fight. If he was going to quit a fight, he would do, essentially, I'm not saying this guy quit, but he would do a Charles Martin, where he just, as soon as he got dropped, he thought, fuck this, I don't want this, and get out of there. Joshua didn't do that. Joshua kept coming and coming and coming, and then he was getting put down again. So, to me, that's what I think happened in this fight, that Andy Ruiz exposed the flaws that have always been there in Anthony Joshua, but Andy Ruiz was the first person to expose them. And that's what I think happened. The dust is finally starting to settle. It is now, a little after 7 o'clock on Monday. It's finally starting to sink in kind of what happened on Sunday. I've watched that fight back God knows how many times. And it's really starting to sink in now what happened. It's going to be very interesting to see what Anthony Joshua does next and what happens next. They've said they want the rematch. I don't know. I don't know if a rematch would be a good idea. And Al Heyman is definitely going to have his say. Although he's not officially a promoter, he's definitely going to have a say in what Andy Ruiz does next. And Al Heyman has absolutely destroyed Eddie Hearn, as far as I'm concerned. He has the whole heavyweight title between Wilder and Ruiz. Eddie Hearn has now just lost the guy who was really keeping Skyboxing afloat. Because who does he have coming up? Boazzi? Boazzi's a good fighter. Akali struggles to, connect with the fans. Josh Kelly? No. Accident waiting to happen, that guy is. So who does Eddie Hearn have now that his cash cow's lost? The questions need to be asked. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts down below. Keep it respectful as always. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will talk to you after.